the recording starts. Good afternoon and a warm welcome to all the participants and especially to our guest, Dr. Sreelakshmi. Ma'am, today we have with us Dr. R Sreelakshmi, ma'am. She is scientist, fish processing ICAR-Central Institute of Fisheries Technology, Cochin, Kerala. And the topic chosen for deliberation today is development of value-added fish products. Ma'am, you are audible as well as visible, and also the presentation is visible. Which seems to be. Please start, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, you can start. The recording can start.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sreelakshmi Kaya. Already I have got introduced, and I would like to thank for giving a chance to share some of my knowledge regarding the value-added fish products. So, coming to the value addition. Let's start with the definition of value addition. So what is value addition? Value addition is whatever may be the change we are adding to the product. That change can be in case of color, texture, form, appearance, or whatever the change we are giving to the product, so as to make it more attractive to the consumer, and so that the consumer will be tempted to buy the product by paying more money, or thus it will help to increase the profit of the profit of the seller. So whatever change we are giving to the product to increase the acceptability of the product or attractiveness of the product, that is value addition. So what's the need of value addition? We know that there is an increased productivity of the fishery resources year by year. Both the aquaculture production is increasing and also the marine capture is going high on a wide scale, on a global scale also. And because of this increased productivity, there is an increased need for more and more diversified product, and also there is a higher shelf life requirement. Because the production is increasing, they have to be stored in a condition that is having a good shelf life. And when we are increasing the shelf life, the product should be safe also. And also, thus it will help to reduce the wastage. So these are the needs for value addition. And when we take the picture of the fish utilization for direct human consumption on a global scale, I got this data from FAO. We can see that the frozen, chilled, and the chilled items, they are on the most of the part of the fish that's being consumed in the form of fish or frozen, chilled or frozen form. And when we come to the preserved or prepared form, it's forming a very a smaller portion of the whole amount of the fish that's being utilized for human consumption. So what can be the reason for this? The reason is that one is that these preserved or the prepared products, the process of preparation is complex. We know that fish is a highly perishable commodity, so more and more processing we are giving means it is becoming more and more complex, and we have to take care of the safety aspect to such an extent. And also the technology is not available for the whole community or to all those who need that. So these are the reasons for the lesser proportion of prepared and preserved products. And when we take the in developing countries, the utilization pattern, we can see that when we compare from 1960 to 2018, we can see that the fresh or the chilled form, that proportion is decreasing while the frozen form is increasing. And we can see here that the processed or the prepared or the preserved forms are also increasing with year by year from 1960 to 2018, that have been increased. That means there is more and more demand for the prepared or the preserved products, where it comes the value added products. So from fish, what all value added products we can prepare? I am giving just a general idea on different categories of value added products. So first one is chilled form, chilled products. In case of chilled products, we are just reducing the temperature of the fish. Why we are reducing the temperature of the fish? To increase the shelf life of the fish. When the temperature is reduced, the major spoilage factors of bacterial action or microbial action, enzymatic action, and lipid oxidation, everything will come down. So chilling is the major method of fish preservation, and it's cheap also. Usually we go for icing. And in case of chilled products, the fish requires very limited processing. So because of this limited processing, this can be taken up as a small scale business. And what the basic things what we need is, the unit will need only basic utensils and chilled storage only. So it can be taken up as a small scale business. But when we come to, and then these are different forms of chilled products that can be marketed. Like it can be marketed in a whole round form, then drawn form, that is easy to clean form. Then the next one is dressed or pan dressed form. That means we will be removing the fins, head, viscera, etc. Then it can be cut in along with the bone. It can be cut with a thickness of 2.5 centimeter. That is sticks. Then it can be the meat portion from the side can be cut as a fillet. Fillet means the meat portion from the side is cut without any bones. That is a fillet. Then sticks can be cut. That is just like the fillet can be cut into stick forms. Then butterfly fillet means we are cutting open the fish in a butterfly form. So these are different forms of fresh fish that we can market as the chilled product. Just we need the cutting and just we need the dressing, and not that much processing or that much investment is needed in case of this. And in case of chilled products, the fish, usually the chilled products, chilled fishery products, they are having a shelf life of 15 days. But that varies with the species of fish. For example, some fishes like fatty fishes like sardine, mackerel, etc. Then crabs, squids, cephalopods, then crustaceans, etc. They'll be having very less shelf life than the other fishes. That means these fishes will be almost having 5 to 8 days shelf life when we compare with other fishes that are having almost 15 days shelf life. But this 15 days or 8 days, that we will get this much shelf life only if we are taking fresh fish for storage or fresh fish for processing. Even if the quality, initial quality is very poor, we won't get this much shelf life. And these products, chilled products, first we have seen just we can do some sort of dressing and we can market it as chilled fish, chilled fresh fish. Next is the marinated products. Marinated products means we are just adding some sort of spices or ingredients into the fish, and we are selling it in a chilled form only, and this will be in a ready to cook form. That means there is no need of dressing, no need of cutting, no need of adding the spices and all those processes. It will be just we have to cut open the packet and just we have to go for frying. That is, it is a ready to cook product, that marinated products. Usually these are having a shelf life of 7 days. And next one comes is these chilled products we can improve. I told the maximum shelf life is 15 days, but using some improved techniques, we can increase the shelf life. These improved techniques are usually packaging techniques. So one packaging technique is vacuum packaging. Vacuum packaging means if the fish is being packed in a tray or in a pouch, we can remove the oxygen from the pouch. So the atmosphere just outside, just around the product, we won't be having oxygen. It will be lack of oxygen, and so the reactions taking place with presence of oxygen that will be prevented. And so this increases the shelf life. And next technology is swivel technique. In this, this is also a vacuum packaging technique, but what happens is that after vacuum packaging, the product will be cooked and then it will be immediately chilled. So the effect of vacuum packaging, that means the oxygen will be removed, and the effect of temperature by cooking, and also the effect of low temperature storage because of chilling will also be there, and all these three will help to increase the shelf life of the products. And the next technology is modified atmospheric packaging. So in case of modified atmospheric packaging, what happens is that the atmosphere around the product. In case of vacuum packaging, we have removed oxygen from that atmosphere. But in case of modified atmospheric packaging, what we are doing is we will be filling that with some other composition of gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, etc. will be filled in specific ratio. And because of the action of these gases, the spoilage actions will be reduced or prevented, and it increases the shelf life. And next one is active packaging. This is a new innovative and modern technology where, for example, an example of active packaging, I will tell that we can introduce some sachet inside the packet of the fish. So that sachet will be having some chemicals or some ingredients, and these ingredients will continuously monitor the composition of the atmosphere inside the product. In case of modified atmospheric packaging, we are just filling that and we are sealing. There is no continuous monitoring, or continuously we won't be changing the atmosphere inside the package. But in case of active packaging, the atmosphere just outside the product fish or inside the package, it will be continuously or constantly, it will be monitored using this sachet, and those chemicals or those ingredients will have that property of dealing with the changes in the atmosphere just around the fish. So it will help to reduce the spoilage actions, and the fish will get more shelf life. And so after chilled products, what comes is frozen products. We know that frozen fishery products, they are having a higher shelf life when compared to chilled products. Chilled products are having a maximum of 15 days of shelf life, but in case of frozen products, it's 1.5 years. So it's giving a longer shelf life. And for frozen products, for the preparation of frozen products, we need a line. A freezing line is needed, a freezer is needed. So it can be usually started as a large scale business. Or at least we need a good glass freezer or good freezer for freezing the product. So usually in case of domestic marketing, we can do the frozen products in the form of frozen fillets, steaks, etc. In case of export marketing, it's usually gone as IQF, individually cooked frozen products or block frozen products. The next comes the category of cured products. Cured products means the water content inside the product is reduced. Somehow the water content is reduced. That's cured products. So in case of cured products, it's having a longer shelf life. Why? Because the water content is reduced. So the water required for the action of microbes, action of the enzymes and the lipid oxidation. So the water available is reduced to such an extent that these spoilage actions are reduced. So the shelf life will get increased. And these are having very less investment. Why? Because there is no heavy machinery required, or sophisticated machineries are not required for the preparation of most of the cured products. And the drying, salting, smoking, etc. are some of the examples of curing, and usually that we have been practiced here. And it can be taken up as a small scale business or as a large scale business. And the dried products, they are having good demand in both domestic and export marketing. And in some advanced forms, some advanced form of cured products like ready to cook products or ready to eat products can also be prepared, like spice mixed and dry products, or after drying we can just do some sort of sorting or some sort of mixing up with spices to make it ready to eat condition. So the cured products can also be given some value addition, and it can be made into ready to eat or ready to cook products. Next what comes is coated products. In case of coated products, uh, the coating that we are giving usually at home and all, when we prepare the coated products, just like for example cutlet, we will give just a coating with the egg we will beat and we will dip in the egg, then after that we will dip in the bread powder or the roti powder something. So we are giving a coating to the exact or the actual product. So what happens when we are giving the coating? When we give the coating, it increases the bulk of the product, and also because of that the profit will get also increased. So this can be taken as a small scale business or as a large scale business. I have to share one more PPT. Can I stop sharing? Hello? I'm just going in detail to the coated fishery products. I'm having it as to under PPT. So as I told, coated food product. What is coated food products? The coated food product is one any product that is coated with another food stuff. So usually we will be coating with a batter solution. That is usually what I told. We will be dipping it in the egg solution. Some liquid form will be there as the batter. Into that we will be dipping the product, and after that we will be dipping in the breadcrumbs. So what happens? What are the functions of coating? So it enhances the appearance of the product. Also, it adds on to the taste of the product. It gives good texture, good flavor, etc., and it increases the acceptability. Also, the product, when we are fortifying the coatings, we are fortifying the product and we are increasing the nutritional quality. And this coating, it acts as a moisture barrier during the frozen storage, and it also gives structural reinforcement to the substrate, the meat portion inside. And after that, there will be some sort of because of all these things, we are adding the value of the product. So the coated fish products usually increases the bulk of the product. There are different coated products like fish cakes, balls, fingers, etc., and some other luxury products like the breaded shrimps, breaded lobsters, etc., are also there. As a convention, usually there will be 50% of the product will be fish, and the minimum 50% should be fish, and the rest will be constituted by the coating. So when we are giving the coating, there are different types of coating we can give, like polysaccharides, proteins, fats, seasonings, water, etc., according to the taste and according to the intention that we need. So when we are going for the battering and the breading or the coating of the product, there are different steps in coating. The first one is portioning or forming. Then next is pre-dusting. Then batter application, bread application or breading. Then pre-frying, then freezing, then packing and storage. So when we go for portioning and forming, we can see that a perfect portioning. That means portioning means we have to just make the product into the shape that is intended in an oval shape. For example, in case of cutlet, in an oval shape or a square shape or whatever the shape that is intended, we are making the product into that shape. So the fish meat is formed into different shapes and sizes. either by after mixing with the ingredients or the fish meat as such can be made into such sizes depending on the product. And it should the consistency, proper weight and shape are the major things to be taken care in case of portioning or forming. Because if the thickness is very high, it will take much more time for the product to get completely cooked. So it will affect the quality of the outer structures. So the weight, shape, consistency, etc. are important, and also speed and accuracy of processing. If the speed is very less, it will lead to quality losses. And next step is pre-dusting. What is pre-dusting? Pre-dusting means some fine flour or the batter. Batter, I told, batter will be in a liquid form. So before, usually on commercial scale, when we are doing the battering and breading, we won't be using the egg. There will be a batter powder mix. That batter powder mix, it will be having so many components like starch, then gum, etc. Some spices, etc., depending on the taste and the acceptability. And that batter powder will be just sprinkled on the surface of the product before we go and dip that in the batter. We are doing this because in most of the products on the surface there will be good moisture content. And if that moisture content is there, and if we dip directly in the batter, what happens is that the coating of the batter and the bread will come off easily while frying because of the moisture in between the batter, moisture on the surface of the product. So yes, we have to remove that moisture and then we have to dip in the batter, then bread, and we have to go for frying. And in case of battering, batter means it's a fluid mixture of water, flour, starch, seasonings, etc. And there are two types of batter. One is adhesive batter. That is just it will act as a bond between the fish and the next coating like the bread. Usually flour and water are used. But in case of tempura batter, what happens is that the tempura batter itself will give a puff type or aerated appearance to the product after frying. So for that, some raising or leavening agents will be added, and it will produce some gas, and it will contribute to the formation of small air bubbles on heating. So it will give a puffy appearance, aerated appearance, and will give a special texture to the product. And in case of some of the leavening agents that we are using are chemical agents like baking soda, then biological agents like yeast, then mechanical agents like creaming. That process can also be used for giving this leavening effect. So the first one you can see, this one is tempura batter, and the second one is the adhesive batter. So in case of formulation of batter, there are two types of ingredients. First one is critical ingredients, and the second one is a optional ingredient. So critical means they are necessary. So in case of tempura batter, leavening agents are necessary, and the polysaccharides are the important ingredient. And other optional ingredients are oil, protein, color, flavoring agents, seasonings, etc. And in case of flour, it's been added for structure. Gelatinization of starch will be there, and it will help in binding, and also it will help in forming a gluten protein matrix. And it will also, what we have to take care is the viscosity of the product, viscosity of the flour. When we come to the starch, the viscosity and the binding both are the effects that's being given by the starch, and we can add seasonings for texture, taste and all. And when we come to breading, the application of dry mixture of flour starch, that's known as breading. Usually we use bread powder. It's not necessary that it should be bread powder. It can be some puffed grains, potato chips, etc. It will give structure and taste. So the functional characteristics are the particle size of the bread. It should be it should be optimum, like coarse, medium, or fine, whatever we are intended. Then the area to volume relationship of the bread is also important. Then the reducing sugars in the bread. If it's high, browning will be high. Then the moisture absorption is also important because it will help, it will affect the porosity, gelation, etc. Then the oil absorption, color, texture, etc. These all characteristics of the bread are also important, and they will affect the quality of the final product. So there are different types of bread. These are some of the styles. There are a variety different. So many styles are there, like cracker meat, bread, home style breadcrumbs, Japanese style crumbs, extruded crumbs, etc. And they vary in their size, structure, taste, everything. And here in CFT, what we are doing is we will take our usual bread and we will remove the side portions and we will just mix it in, grind it using a mixie, and we will go for drying. And that powder we are using as breadcrumbs. So after breading, we are going for pre-frying or flash frying. So pre-frying or flash frying is just we will do the frying of the product for almost 30 to 40 seconds at 180 degrees Celsius. Why we are doing this? Because to coagulate the batter of over the product and to lock the flavor and the juices into the product. It's not for complete cooking of the product, because after pre-frying or flash frying, we are going for packing and frozen storage. And whenever the product is needed to be given to the consumer, or when it is to be consumed, or when we are giving it to for the consumer in a ready to eat form, just before that we will be doing the deep frying, that is at 180 degrees Celsius. We will be frying it for almost 5 minutes. So this pre-frying is just for 30 to 40 seconds, and it will give the good frying. That process will affect only the surface of the product. And the disadvantages are it will increase the cost, and sometimes it will reduce the shelf life due to rancidity. Next is freezing. Freezing comes the air cooling. After pre-frying, we have to reduce the temperature. Then only we have to go for freezing at minus 40 degrees Celsius. Then what comes is next is packaging. After freezing, we will be packing that. And usually, during frozen storage, there will be so many deteriorative changes taking place. So if we are giving a proper packaging, it will help to reduce those changes. It gives mechanical protection also. Usually thermoformed containers are used, and the products are usually stored at minus 20 degrees Celsius after packaging. The freezing is usually done at minus 40, and the storage is done at minus 18 plus or minus 2 degrees Celsius. This is an, sorry, it's not working. It was an video on the ready to means automatic breading and battering machine. It's working. So we can see that when we add the product, it will automatically go through the batter, then to the bread, and then it will come out in a battered and breaded form. And when we come to the fish fingers, they're the first commercially successful coated product. And fish finger means they will be cut in a rectangular frozen rectangular shape, just like a finger. Usually it can be done either from a frozen fish means block or from a fish fillet. Then after that, the whole fish, after that it will be breaded and battered, and then bread and battered, and then after that it will be frozen. But if we are taking it from a whole fish, yes, we can take the fillet, and then after we can cut it in the shape of the finger. Or if we are taking it from frozen means blocks, the fish means it will be mixed with sodium tripolyphosphate and sodium chloride. Just one is as a preservative and one for just for taste. And after that, those frozen blocks will be cut in a fixed dimensions, and then they are coated and fried. So these fish fillets, they are giving a blanching of for 10 to 15 minutes in 3% salt solution before they are gone for pre-dusting, battering, and breading. So usually it's been seen that the fish finger that's made from the from the fish itself or the fish fillet, they are having more acceptability. They are having more sensory quality than that of that fish fingers that are prepared from fish meats. And different countries, they are having different specifications for the size of the fish fingers. And then comes frozen, then comes coated fish fillets. In this, the fillet are cut from the side of the fish without the bones. That meat portion is cut, and then they are cold blanched as we did in case of fish fingers. Then after that, pre-dusting, battering, and breading are done. In case of fish cutlets can be prepared either from cooked fish meats or directly from the fish meat that is not cooked. Usually as AFT, we are practicing with the technology of cooked fish means. The cooked fish, it will be almost cooked for 15 minutes. They will be mixed with potato, onion, spices, etc. And then they will be preformed. And then they are preformed, then battered, breaded, and they are stored. And in case of fish balls, the fish means alone will be taken. It will be mixed with starch and cornstarch. And after that, if we need, some spices can also be added, and then they will be made in the form of a ball. And after around 2 to 3 centimeter diameter, then they will be cooked in boiling brine. That is 1% brine for almost 5 to 10 minutes. Why we are boiling the fish balls? Because the fish balls, the characteristic texture of a fish ball is a rubbery texture. So to get that texture, we are mixing the fish means, that protein with starch. So on cooking, there will be protein gelatinization happens. A protein starch matrix will be formed, and it will give that a rubbery texture to the product. So we are boiling the product, and after that we will be going for pre-dusting, battering, and breading. And while in case of the coated fish products, the things that we have to take care of are, first one is fish quality should be the best. We can't use a spoiled fish or low quality fish for the production of coated products, because it will lead to the lesser acceptability of the final product. And for coated products, only the best fish that can be used is white fleshed fishes. The fishes that are having white flesh, not dark flesh. And when we do preforming, what we have to take care is that the size of all the products should be the same. If you're making cutlet, all the cutlets should have the same size, same thickness, etc. Otherwise, the cooking process will be on a different extent. It will happen in different extent to different products. Some will get burned, and some will not get properly cooked. Then the quality and the type of batter and the bread will also affect, and the quality of other ingredients should also be taken care of. And while pre-dusting, it should be properly done to remove the moisture, and the pre-frying, there should not be any overcooking of the product. And the frying time and the temperature should be maintained properly. Freezing should be maintained properly for proper time and at proper temperature. And proper packaging should be given to give the product a good shelf life. And some of the coated fish products are fish fillet, fish finger, cutlet, balls, nuggets, etc. Stewed products are there, shrimp products are there. So many coated products are there. And next we are coming to some specialty shrimp products. That means shrimp, it's being usually exported or marketed outside our country, not inside our country. Almost 14 styles, different styles of shrimp products are there. And one is center peel shrimp. That means the head portion and the tail portion shells will be retained, and the center portion will be removed. And from the tail portion, the pointed tip of the shell, that is telson. From the telson, that shell will be removed, the telson will be removed, and the middle portion of the shell will be removed, and this is the center peeled shrimp. These are different styles of shrimp that makes it easy to use or easy to consume. Then there is an easy peeled shrimp. In that we can see that we will remove the head, we will remove the telson, and we will give a cut. We will remove the vein also, and after that we will give a cut on the upper side of the shell so that it's easy to peel. Then there is a fantail round. In this style, the tail will be cut in a special shape, a curved shape. And butterfly shrimp style is that we will cut open the shrimp in a shrimp, and it will be just in a butterfly form. And then shrimp skewers are there. In this, the shrimp, it will be deveined, the tail fans will be, everything will be removed, and we will be making it in a 45 pieces. We will be making it on a inverted U shape. We will be just arranging it. In case of butterfly sushi shrimp, what happens is that we will just remove the telson of the shrimp. Then after that we will devein. We will remove the head and rod, and insert a bamboo skewer along the dorsal side, and then the fish will be stretched completely. Then it's giving a blanching, that is in 1% boiling brine for 1 to 2 minutes. After that they are cooled in chilled water and then peeled, and then they are given a cut. That is butterfly sushi shrimp. Then shrimp vegetable kebabs are there, where the shrimp is arranged along with the vegetables. So we go back to the first presentation. So next category is retorted products. So after quarter products, one of the major categories retorted products were the products are distributed in a ready to eat, distributed as ready to eat product. So it's usually it needs an instrument, that is a retort is needed, where we are giving a specific amount of heat, energy, and pressure to the product, to the packed sealed products, so that all the microbial and other spoilage actions are retorted because of the action of the temperature and the pressure. And if that product is not opened, it will have a shelf life of minimum of 1 year at ambient temperature. We can store it at ambient temperature or the room temperature. So that retort is needed for the processing, so it can be taken up only as a large scale business. So usually this retorting can be done in cans, retort pouches, etc. And they are having demand both in domestic markets and export markets. So retorting is having so many steps, different types of steps like preparation of product, packing, exhaustion, sealing, retorting, cooling, etc. And next comes fermented products. These are having good demand in Southeast Asian countries and also in India, or mostly in the Northeast regions. They can be taken up as a small scale business, and one of the examples is fish sauce. So next one is fish meals based product. In case of fish meals based product, first one is extruded product. Extruded product is just like our kurkure. There will be some snack product that's having a crispy product with added fish protein or fish ingredients into that, so that it will be fortified with good nutritional value products. So it is usually prepared as a ready to eat products, and it needs a medium investment because a twin screw extrusion is needed. That means a thin screw extruder that's being shown in this picture. It's needed for the processing of this product. Next one is fish sausage. Usually it can be prepared as a ready to eat or ready to cook product, and it can be considered as a healthier and cheaper alternative for the red meat based sausages. Those sausages are having a good demand, so our fish product can be a better alternative for that. And for that we need a sausage stuffer and a case into which the meat is just, or that mix is just stuffed into, so it can be taken as a small or medium investment thing. And next one is fish cookies. Fish cookies means it is just like our other cookies. There will be some added ingredients from fish, like fish meat or fish protein or any other ingredient that is having a good health benefit will be added into the cookies, and it will make the cookies a healthy snack. So only an oven and a small few other utensils are needed, so it can be taken as a low or medium investment product. And other mince-based products are wafers are there. That can be that is a dry product and it can be stored at room temperature. Fish papad is also just like that. This can be started as a very small scale business. Then fish momos is there, just like our chicken momos and all. Fish will be stuffed inside. Then spring rolls are there. Fish soup powders are there, and fish samosa, etc. So many other products are there. And when we come to
Hello. Hello, ma'am.
sorry, next product is surmi. Is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
I
Yes,
got
ma'am.
a call. That's why. Next product is okay. Okay. Next is surmi. In case of surmi, what is surmi? Surmi means we will be washing the fish means. So when the fish means is washed, all the enzymes and other different types of proteins will be. Actually, the fish meat is having mainly three types of protein, like sarcoplasmic, myofibrillar, and connective tissue proteins are there. So most of the proteins except the myofibrillar proteins are removed, or the myofibrillar proteins got concentrated, and they can be used for the production of some other value added products. So that concentrated form is known as surmi. Usually it's being marketed in a frozen form, and for the preparation large scale investment is needed. So from this surmi, some other category of product known as analog products or imitation products can be prepared. As the name implies, imitation products are and the product is not actually, for example, the product that we can see in this picture is actually in the form of a shrimp, but it's not a shrimp. So we are making it from surmi. We are making it in the form of a shrimp, and we'll be marketing it for the same price as that of the shrimp, but it will taste and the texture and everything will be just like the shrimp, but the original raw material is surmi. It's not an actual shrimp. So it will help to increase the profit, just like the prawns, crab products are there, lobster products are there, so many other products are there. One of the recent technology is live fish transportation, which will help to ensure more freshness to the product that is being delivered to the consumer, and it fetches higher price also, and studies are going on that. And next category is seaweed products. Seaweed, different types of seaweed products are there, just like soup, cookies, or some other products that can be extracted from the seaweeds like agar, carrageenan, sodium alginate, etc. are there. When we make the food items like soup, cookies, etc. with added seaweed, we are giving the additional nutrient value of the seaweed to the product also. So we have one example is we have developed several products like Nutri-Drink, cookies, yogurt, etc. So the seaweed contains a lot of minerals, then protein, vitamins, etc. And we are adding all those to the products. So one example is seaweed Nutri-Dream, where with the help of some extraction procedures, we have extracted some health components from the seaweed. Then we have made diluted it with the grape juice or some other juices to make it in a drinkable and a healthy form. And I have already mentioned that fish soup powder is there. So we have prepared some fortified fish soup powder, like iron and calcium was fortified, and it was found to increase the blood hemoglobin levels on a continuous consumption scale. And there are several other products like seaweed enriched biscuit is there. Then some other products like fish noodles are there. They are also extruder products, but already I have shown fish puree. Just like that, different extruder products like noodles, then pasta, etc. are there. Then just like energy bars, we get fish nutritional bars. They can be prepared. Some functioning fish sausages. Yeah, that means the fish sausages will be added with some other components to improve the functioning properties. Then there are some other products like the fish raw. They are prepared in a ready to cook form, so that ready to cook it will be easy for consumption and we will get all the nutrient benefits. And one other product is in this fish is not added, but the fish instant fish gravy powder is there. This is the spice, all spices were mixed together and it's ready to cook form. We have to just add the fish and we have to just make the product. So these are some of the some other products like fish pickle, fish chutney powders, etc. are there. They are having very low investment. I have just gone through some of the products to give the idea and overall idea on different fishery products that we can utilize the fish for making them. And we are having one agri-business incubation center here, and you will be having a detailed class on there. And thank you for listening to the class. And if you are having any doubts after this class, you can just mail me to sreelakshmi@gmail.com. I'll be replying, or I will try to clarify the doubts. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
If you are having any doubts, please ask.
If you have any questions, please ask, ma'am, or you can type it on chat.
Please ask if you are having any queries.
I think, ma'am, they have understood it very well. There are no queries in the chat, and maybe they are
Okay.
exhausted. It was 3 sessions today. Thank you so much. Thank you for the
Okay.
valuable session.
Let me just share your mail ID. Just my mail ID I have shared in chat box. If you want, you can take it down and ask later. Or if you need any help or any queries or whatever, you can contact me later also. So I have shared it in the chat box.